No. Good evening, folks. Paranormal Tech here, Philip, and we're going to take you through next week's live investigation called Moirai Castle, located on known as called the Gap of the North, or North of the Gap. So let's take you through this wee video, guys. It's called Moirai Castle, and it's called the Gap of the North. Queen Elizabeth's time, many of a battle took place in this area called the Gap of the North. Many of battle was taking place. Many of people have been shot dead and killed here. Many of battle took place. And we're going to take you through this little video clip for a couple of minutes. We're going to take you to definitely have been out on this area today checking out the Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi is 100% A-OK. Great coverage. So we'll sit back and enjoy an advertisement of next week's live investigation called the Gap of the North, back in Queen Elizabeth's time, when she took on the troops and roamed parts of Ireland, and there's many of a battle took place here. So sit back and enjoy the next 5 or 6 minutes of this little clip that was given for me from the two boys that were down below. You can see them on the video, and they sent me a request back, said I can use this, and I can use this clip to show you guys what this place looks like from an aerial footage. And they're the three guys you see on the bottom, and they give me the full permission to show you guys Moirai Castle, and this is their video. And they asked me, I asked them could I use it, and said I could. So thanks very much, guys, for that. So this is their video, what they took of Moirai Castle, and this is where we're going to do our live stream next week. And he's going to zoom in right in from the top right down to the bottom, where you can see all the right details, which you wouldn't be able to see if you went into the castle. So sit back and enjoy for the next 5 minutes of their video of Moirai Castle, and I have one afterwards. So enjoy. This is where we're going to do our live investigation next week. So picture back in the time Queen Elizabeth was roaming Ireland, and you can picture when we flick this camera around now in 3, 2, 1, and picture the top floor where the soldiers used to be up on top here, and up with their shotguns. Here we go. We're just going to flip the camera now and just picture the top floor here, and we'll go right up to it, and there you can picture the soldiers running around there with the shotguns shooting down on their enemies. And the little outlets there is where they would have thrown out their oil, or they would have thrown out hot burning oil on top of people that would have came around it. And so they were well protected, and the 3 stories of this, there's no way there was anybody getting in here on top of them. They had themselves well protected indeed. So sit back and enjoy the structure of this beautiful, beautiful castle called Moirai Castle, known as the Gap of the North. You see all the little outlets. You can picture all when the soldiers were there, and they had their big rifles and sticking out. And let's go out and show you the outside now, what it looks like. And we show you the countryside around us as well, where we're at it, and we'll move on into the next clip. So let's show you what it looks like outside, and let's show you why the Gap of the North. Remember, we're live here next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, and the heading would be Moirai Castle. The Gap of the North. The little wall that you see standing there on the left hand side of the castle, that's actually the last bit of the wall, the standing of Moirai Castle. It would have been a fort around this little castle, roughly about 13-14 foot high, in a square location around this castle, and to protect anyone from coming from outside in. And that's the last standing bit of the wall that is left. So let's have a look. Why do they call it the Gap of the North? You can picture there Queen Elizabeth's time, and that is why she picked this locality to build this castle called Moray Castle. Because look at the beautiful view of the railway track running from right to left, heading right up towards the north of Ireland. You can see the mountains there, and that's why they call it the Gap of the North, because you had a great view from left, north, south, east and west of the country. And to the right hand side we had the Cooley Mountains up towards Ravensdale's Wood, just sitting outside Dundalk. So remember, we're live here next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, and we'll be hoping we get good response on the spirit boxes. Hopefully we get troops, and hopefully we get majors, and hopefully we get guns, hopefully get rifles, and hopefully we get anything to do with the war back in the 1300s in relation to Queen Elizabeth. So this is going back many hundreds of years now, this live investigation. So there's many of a battle, many of troops of armies came through these fields hundreds of years ago, heading towards this direction in a big battle. So there's many gunfire battle took place in these areas here. And Moray Castle is still standing exactly the same way it is today. So remember guys, if you're watching this, this is Paranormal Tech. My name is Philip, and we do live investigations every week. Sometimes we do things differently compared to any other paranormal investigations. We like to show you a bit of history of the place as well, and we like to show people where we go as well before we do any live investigation. We like to show you the area where we do it as well, and sometimes we get great responses as well on our spirit box. And sometimes you don't need spirit boxes, like last week when we heard the spirit of a woman singing the lullaby, Pop Goes the Weasel. And if you didn't see that one, you make sure you go back to last week's investigation, you would have seen it. And that's the first time ever in our investigation we heard a spirit of a woman singing Pop Goes the Weasel. So if you want to watch that one, that was on last week. So let's give you one more look at this place before we switch you on to the live one myself and Leah did today. You're looking at the railway track at the moment, running from Dundalk into Belfast. Beautiful countryside of this area, and just going to run it all the way up to Moray Castle now. So we hope you enjoyed it. This is the first clip, and we're going to show you a clip of myself and Leah that we did a quick test run, see what the Wi-Fi is like. So that's coming up right now. Good evening folks, and this is next week's paranormal investigation. We are taking you to Moray Castle, and here's our advertisement for next week. We said we'll bring you up during the day to show you what it looked like. So that's what it looks like from here, the beginning as you're coming in. So look forward to this investigation next Tuesday night. We're just going to check out the coverage, see what it looks like, and we'll check out the bar. So let's take you to the trip. So that's where we're looking at the moment. So let's take you to this location. Beautiful day in the right, Leah?
Yeah.
So this is where we're going to do our investigation next week. So let's take you on the trip. So when you come up here, we have the car parked down at the end of the road down there, if you can see it, and a beautiful entrance coming in here, and the castle sits up above. So let's look forward to this next week, and we're just going to open this gate for Leah. And here is the sign. Just take your time, Leah. So there is the sign for the castle. So let's go up the road. Let's go up the trip. Excuse me. Right. So just take your time, Leah. They have all the grass as is cut, you can see it. We'll check out the coverage when we get up to the top. But a beautiful, beautiful location, beautiful day. That's why one of the reasons is we said come out and we check the coverage today. We're just running out to the shop with Caroline, and we said we'd check out the views and the situation. So for Matt to UK, thank you very much for doing the shout out for us yesterday. And what a beautiful video you did for us as well. And look at the scenery here, Matt, as well. I just want to show you, look at the beautiful countryside here as well. And you can see the mountains up here as well, Matt. You can see them there as well. And to all our other viewers, look at the beautiful day we have in Ireland today. Absolutely fantastic. And the beautiful surroundings there of the mountains as well. So let's take you on to this device up to Moira Castle. Let's go. So this place as we're walking up here is known as the Gap of the North. And Queen Elizabeth, there's a battle was taking place up here, and they call it the Gap of the North because it's the highest point before you enter to the north side of Ireland. So they call it this castle here, Moira Castle. They call it the Gap of the North, and one of the reasons why is look at the view you would have down on the valley, down below here. Look. And you can see all the troops coming from left, right and centre. And that is why they call it the Gap of the North. So Queen Elizabeth troops would have been up here. So let's take you through it. This is where we're going to do our investigation next Tuesday night. So let's take you through. You okay, Leah?
Yeah.
So Leah's with me. You can see Leah walking behind me there. She's doing mighty. So we're going to take you through this. And then you're going to come to this beautiful grass where it's all cut and nice and clean. So let's take you through it. Moira Castle, you can see it there the way it used to be years and years ago. Can you see that all at home? Because I only can turn around the camera one way. You can see where the fort was years and years ago, the big square building here like this. And there's only a small bit of that wall today where it's standing. You can see it over here in a couple of seconds. And this is where they would have their animals in here. And eventually it would have been a 3-story building now, but I think it's only all these floors are taken away now. But it would have been a 3-story building, and there used to be a lookout for people, and they call it the Gap of the North. So just give you a quick look at that there. So that is Moira Castle. So that's it there now, and you can see it there. Look, 17th century Moira Pass village known as the Gap of the North. You can see it there. 17th century, overlooks the Moira Pass of the valley known as the Gap of the North. It had always been the main direct north-south route of the Eastern Ireland in the days of the Finneligans, men of Ulster, fought through this valley. And you can see it all there. Look, it's in Irish as well. So there's a load of history there about it, and that's what it would have looked at in the day. So we'll bring you through what it looks like now. So we'll bring you through it. So there's one standing wall still there. They're looking after this place very, very well. You can see the grass is maintained very, very well actually. And before we go into the castle, that is the castle there, Moira Castle, and that is one of the original standing walls that are still left here. You can see one of the walls are still left here today. So this wall here would have been going around. This wall would have been a big high wall here. This is actually the height of the wall here. I'm just going to stand beside it, standing here. So that wall here, as I speak, it would have wanted in this big square area here. And Moira Castle, there's a many of a battle took place here from Queen Elizabeth, and that is why they call it the Queen, not the Queen. This is why they call it the Gap of the North. But that's the wall there. You can see it there, the little wall there. That's the wall there. It went around in a square. And that's all that's left of the big wall here at the moment. And we'll give you a little guided tour of the place in a couple of minutes. We just want to show you why they call it the Gap of the North. And if you look very, very closely, you can see the beautiful surrounding. Look at the view, absolutely amazing view. From top up here, amazing view. And that is why they call it the Gap of the North. That is why they call it. We'll just try and get it all here covered left, right and centre. So that was it. So let's take you into the castle itself. And as you can see there, look, it was a 3-story building one time, and all these little outlets that you see in the building were for the rifles to be sticking out and protecting the area and for shooting. But Queen Elizabeth's troops would have been in here protecting they call it the north of the gap, and they call it the north of the gap. And to protect it. I'm just looking at the views and trying to take in as much as I can. So let's go in and see what is in it. See, is it well worth coming back here next Tuesday night, I would say. And if you do like what we're doing, please give it a double thumbs up. Let's get 20 yeses underneath this video for next Tuesday night live investigation. So this is called Castle, right? So let's go into it. Let's take you into it. So it looks kind of freaky already. Yeah, so what do I feel when I walk in here? Feel a lot of things happening here. And I'd say this castle here was a spectacular place. But if the weather conditions is okay for next Tuesday night, I think this place would have been, I'd say we'd pick up many a soldier. There's many of a soldier has been killed here and shot and dead from battles over the years back in the Queen Elizabeth's time. And that's why they call it the Gap of the North, because you're sitting right up on top of the hill between north, south, east and west in Ireland, and that's why they call it the Gap of the North. So let me show you. As you can see over my little shoulder here, you see the little hole here? Actually, don't know what that is. We're going to check that out, see what that is. Actually, it's the train. I don't know if you can see it. The train running through. So let's show you what's in here. So in here you have little gaps here where there would have been a soldier peeping down here with a rifle sticking out here. So if anybody was passing by, bang, they would have shot him. There would have been these look like to be other outlets in here as well. And you can really picture back in the day when the soldiers used to be sitting in here with the guns shooting. And you can see all the wear and tear here off the rocks as well here. And you can see the little lookouts here. This is where there would have been rifles shoved in his time. This would have been a second floor here one time. You can see it here. But all in the bottom half here, you can see all the little lookouts here, left, right and centre. There would have been rifles stuck out here to protect the enemy. And you can see, even looking down there, you would have had a great house spy out hole there to be shooting left, right and centre. And there was 3 floors here. There was actually 3 floors in here back in his time. But they would have been made out of big tree trunks, and there would have been 3 different stories, and up at the very top is where there would have been lookout places. So let's try, and I cannot turn the camera around, but what I can do is I can try and show you up here. These would have been 4 lookout tunnels, so there'd been 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and there would have been a little house or something up there in that time. But that's what this castle is known as. It's called, in other words, called the Gap of the North, and Queen Elizabeth here. So let me know in chat, do you want us to come next Tuesday night? And while we're at it, let's check the coverage as well. It won't let me check the coverage, but I think the coverage is right. When I press stop, I'll double check it in a few minutes. But coverage looks all right to me. The picture looks to be all right for me. So next Tuesday night, let's hope we would be here live. If we get 20 likes, I want to try and get 20 likes, so show that people do appreciate what I do. And it is a lovely locality. So when you're coming here to this castle called Moray Castle, known as the Gap of the North, and you can see it there again, that is the big high wall that used to go around in a big square box in here. And there's many of a battle that took place here in this castle here, and you can see it up on top. We'll try and show you as much as we can. We'll go around in a circle. You meet me that side there, Leah. Just tell me, I'll go around and show you the other side here. And we're going to try and show you as much as we can. So if you can see here, guys, see the little lookout here. This is where the rifle would have been stuck out here, and when they were protecting the north of the gap. So you picture back in Queen Elizabeth time, they called it the Gap of the North. All the soldiers used to stick their rifles out here, and they used to be protecting this little area here called the Gap of the North. So let's show you. See if we can show you more up here. If you can see there's another lookout up here as well. They're all over the place. Leah, you go on the other side now because you're tripping here. And you can see it just goes right down there. How are you? No, you're okay. I should record for next week. You're right. And you can see here's another one here. So they're protecting in all 4 corners of it. It's actually built in a big high, like a hill of a rock as well. So we're just going to try and show you as much as we can. And you can see up the very top there's 2 more lookouts as well, and you have a big lookout here. So, and there's another one here then as well. There's all little tunnels where they were protected. So when the soldiers were here back in Queen Elizabeth's time, you can picture there's many a soldier had been shot here and killed protecting this place here called the Gap of the North. So let's bring you right to it. So this brings you back to the other side here then as well, up above. And then we have another one here as well. So let's bring you over. Leah, will you just go inside there, good girl, and shout through this hole here for me? So I'm going to try and put you into it and see, can you see Leah's head in the far side of it? Are you there, Leah? Alright, just shout here and follow me here, look. I don't know if you can see Leah there. Can you see anybody? Say hello, Leah, wave. Let's see, can we get Leah in there? Where's there, Leah? So that's Leah inside. So that is it. That's our a quick visit for next Tuesday night live, and Moirai Castle, known as the Gap of the North. And Queen Elizabeth troops used to be here back many hundreds of years ago, and they used to be here in this castle. So if you'd like to see us come here live next Tuesday night, let's get 20 likes, and we'll see you next week. And don't forget to like and share, and we'll see you next week in a live stream. See you soon. So it's goodbye from me, and goodbye from Caroline, it's goodbye from Leah, and we hope you enjoyed that little video, and that's just letting you know where we're going to go next Tuesday night.